Hi, this is Trey Passer, and welcome to my film series review, Volume 11. I'm going to do the Mummy trilogy. Okay, I've seen the first two movies. I haven't seen the last one. You know, the one which is the Mummy, the Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. I haven't seen that one. I've seen the first two, but I haven't seen the third one. Okay, so I watched. It's been a while since I've seen the first one, so I watched this today in the Mummy. There we go. Of course, this stars Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz. Okay, and this movie came out in 1999. Okay, it's 125 minutes, and basically this is the story of I don't see if I pronounce this right. No, must screw up his name. Imhotep. Okay, he was Pharaoh's high priest, keeper of the dead, and the Pharaoh that he served was Pharaoh Seti the First. And actually, Imhotep, he fell in love with the priestess, with the Pharaoh's mistress. Her name was Ak-Sun-Numan. I think that's the way you pronounce it. Pharaoh's mistress. And okay, no other man was allowed to touch her, but they were in love, so he dared to do that. And basically, when the Pharaoh came to see his mistress, he noticed that she was touched. Okay, and of course, that's when they chose to murder the Pharaoh, and of course the Pharaoh's bodyguards, came in and caught them, and of course sentenced Imhotep to death, as a living mummy. He basically married him alive. They killed her. No, she killed herself. I'm sorry, she killed herself. Okay, and then they took the Imhotep and they basically made him a living mummy. Buried him alive. Okay, took out his tongue. Okay, and put the little scorpion things in there so they could basically feast on him for all of eternity. Okay, and cursed him. And then they say that and they buried him underneath the thing and said if anybody that if he so that way he could stay there, and if anybody arose him he would become more powerful if he arose. That's why they kept him there. And there were these ancient Pharaoh's bodyguards. They were them and their generations thereafter were there to protect and make sure that the mummy Imhotep stayed where he was. Okay, which takes us to not the present day, but the 1920s. I think that's when it starts, the movie. And basically you have Rick O'Connell, played by Brendan Fraser. He's I think he's a Foreign Legion, right? Supposed to be in the Foreign Legion, and he is American serving in the French Foreign Legion. Okay, and you see him battling other soldiers and stuff, and then basically you see him accidentally go near where Imhotep is buried. Okay, and he manages to get later you see the other main characters in the story, Rachel Weisz's character, Evelyn Evie, Carnahan, and John Hannah, who plays her brother. He's the ne'er-do-well type of guy. She's a librarian out there, and basically they the brother finds like a key and a map. Okay, Jonathan finds a key and a map, and he asks Evie to kind of decipher it for him, and she basically says this is to the ancient city of Hamatara. I think I pronounced that right. I might have butchered that. Okay, and they basically know a guy. Jonathan knows a guy that can help them get it, and they go. And that's when they find Rick, who's basically getting ready to get hung. Okay, and they save him, and they're promising the warden that he'll get like I think 20% of whatever they find. And so they set out, Evelyn, Jonathan, Rick, to find this ancient city. And of course, what they don't know, of course, is there's another group of Americans interested in the same dig. Okay, and basically they're looking for this lost city, ancient city, and they actually unleash the mummy. Okay, and this movie is like an old-fashioned, like a 1930s, 1940s type of like kind of old Hollywood. It's a great like an adventure, action movie. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but I like the curse parts and all that stuff. The CGI in this is fantastic, and the whole mummy resurrecting and all that stuff. That's fantastic, and I like the comedy in there that's in this, and the action and the adventure. And you have the little romance because Evie and Rick, they have this little. I think the first time they meet, when he sees him in jail, he gives her a kiss. So you see they have this nice little chemistry going on, and Rachel Weisz is absolutely gorgeous in this movie, and it's just a fun ride. And the brother, played by John Hannah, is a scream. He's a ne'er-do-well and always looking for the next buck. Okay, and also Patrick O'Connell, who plays, I think he plays one of Rick's ex-French Legion buddies, who's kind of a weasel. Okay, and always never missing the opportunity to take advantage of something. He's leading the other American group. The other Americans are looking for the lost city as well, which they're also looking for treasure. Okay, and this is just a fun action movie. And Arnold Vosloo, who plays the Mummy, he's absolutely fantastic too in this movie. And this is an action adventure movie. And this one of these movies that you just check your brain and watch and enjoy because it has action and romance and the comedy, and it all works. And the scary CGI effects, and it all works for me. This is one I absolutely love this movie. I remember seeing it when it first came out. Just a fun ride. And I would definitely give The Mummy. I'm going to give The Mummy I thought it was perfect. No, not perfect, because nothing is perfect. But I just thought it was perfect for what it is. Like I said, it never tries to take itself too seriously. But the parts that aren't to be seriously, they do take seriously. And you got a nice mix of action and romance and silliness. And the serious parts are serious. So I'm going to give The Mummy, because I really enjoyed it, I'm going to give The Mummy an 8 out of 10. I'm going to give The Mummy 8 out of 10 just because I like the mix of a little romance. I like Rachel Weisz. I love John Hannah and love Brendan Fraser. He's perfect, makes the perfect hero who doesn't take himself too seriously. And it's a fun ride. And this is a fun movie. Stephen Sommers did a good job with this movie. So I'll definitely give it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed that. Anyway, let me know what you think of The Mummy. Okay, and next week, tune in next week, I'll be reviewing The Mummy Returns. Okay, there you go. I'll be reviewing that there. And like I said, I've never seen the third Mummy movie, which is The Mummy, The Tomb of the Dragon Empire, so that'll be a first time watch for me for that one. But anyway, let me know what you think of The Mummy. Okay, feel free to leave comments down below. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.